What's up, Lantern fans? It's the Emerald Enthusiast back with another Green Lantern collectible review. This time I'll be looking at the Mcfarlane DC Multiverse JLA wave figure of Green Lantern John Stewart. This figure comes in the standard DC Multiverse packaging with the Collect and Connect legs of Plastic Man. The figure also includes ring effect accessories, a peg base, and a trading card. This figure is part of the JLA wave, and here's a closer look at the sides, the top, and the bottom of the packaging. The back of the package features artwork of Plastic Man, as well as a diagram of how to assemble the Collect and Connect figure. And now let's bust open this package and see what's inside. And here we have John Stewart free of the package and ready to rumble. Although I prefer John's modern costumes, I was more than happy to add this figure as well as its Platinum Chase variant to my collection. I only have minor criticisms of this figure, so let's have a closer look at the loose details now. Here is the trading card, the DC logo peg base, as well as the energy effects. I'll have some close-up shots of each one of these later in the video. If you're wondering how this figure differs from the Platinum Edition, they are very similar. In terms of sculpting, these figures are identical. It is only the paint jobs on the torsos that differentiate these figures. Here's a look at the lower body, and again we get the sculpted boots, as well as the textured black sections of the uniform. The black sections are glossy, and once again we get this flexible hip piece. Here's a look at the torso, and obviously the chest symbol is different on this figure than it is on the Platinum Edition. This is very similar to the way that Neil Adams drew the Green Lantern symbol in John's first appearance. And here's a look at the back of the figure. Here's a closer look at the arms, and I really wish that the figure came with a personal power battery for this gripping hand. There's nothing wrong with this figure's musculature in and of itself. However, I wish that the figure were just a little bigger, so when I set this figure with my other Mcfarlane Green Lantern figures, it would be more comic accurate. Here's a close-up of the head sculpt, and I really appreciate this intense look on John's face. I think that's very fitting for the character. There's excellent sculpting on the cheekbones, the eyebrows, and the jawline. Here's a close-up of the ring, and this is certainly superior to some of the rings on some of the early Mcfarlane Green Lantern figures. The paint application is tight, and the shape of the ring is very eye-catching. Here's a look at one of the energy effects placed on John's ring hand. This is the other effect, and this is the one that I saw Mcfarlane use in one of the promotional images. If you're wondering if you can use these two pieces together, the answer is yes. It's not the easiest task to get them to set on the arm, but as you can see, it is possible. I do appreciate the sculpting as well as the color choice on these accessories. However, my issue with these, as well as many of the accessories that Mcfarlane uses for Green Lantern figures, is that they're not specific to the character. With John's accessories, I wish that they were more complex to reflect his nature as the master builder. Here's a look at the figure's articulation. As you can see, wonderful movement here in the ankles, double jointed knees as you would expect, so you can get the figure into a running pose. I really appreciate these ratchet joints in the hips. They allow the figure to step back and get into deep kicking poses. Here's a look at the waist and upper torso articulation on this figure. Be careful that you don't rub off the paint on the chest symbol. The figure has rotation and movement at the wrists, double jointed elbows, bicep swiveling, and I just can't say enough good things about these butterfly joints in the shoulders. These allow the figure to get into magnificent flying poses, and I really appreciate that. The neck joint allows for a full range of motion with the head, and I appreciate that as well. I really have no complaints with this figure's articulation. If you're wondering if I have a review of the Platinum Chase, the answer is yes. Obviously, I cover a lot of the same ground in that review. However, I'll put a link in the description below for viewers who might be interested. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this review, and remember to check me out on Multiverse Musings, the vidcast, which is the home of the Emerald Echo podcast, where we cover the adventures of all of your favorite ring slingers. And that's available right here on YouTube. And I'll be back with more Green Lantern content soon. But until we meet again, this has been the Emerald Enthusiast, and thanks for watching.